Hey, what's up? This is me, Jermaine, and today I will be doing a review for the graphic novel Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, which was written by Frank Miller. Now, this story takes place like in the future. It's basically like years in the future after Bruce Wayne has retired from being Batman, so he decides to return to the role of Batman because of the rising crime rate in Gotham City, plus like threats from the Joker and also even Two-Face. So this brings back the idea of him becoming Batman once again, and plus also like a flashback of his parents being murdered, brings Bruce back into the role of Batman to save Gotham City. And this story was written by Frank Miller.
Hey, what's up? It's me, Jermaine, and today I'll be doing a review for Frank Miller's graphic novel Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. And here it is, right here, as you can see from DC Comics, and written by Frank Miller. Now, Frank Miller was also the illustrator, and along with a couple other people known as Klaus Janson and Lynn Varley. They were the oh yeah, and they had lettering by John Costanza. Now they were the I think yeah, also the illustrators of this too. Even Frank Miller I think had it, yeah, was like a hand in illustrating this, but I know he wrote the story itself though. So yeah, this will be my review for Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. Now this is a Batman tale that is like set in the future, and it's like set years like after like Batman, has like retired, from like fighting crime or whatever. So like in Gotham City, like Bruce Wayne gives up the role of being Batman, especially after what happened with Jason Todd, who was the I think the second Robin, yeah, because he was after Dick Grayson, and Dick Grayson went on to become like Nightwing. Then Jason Todd took his place, but Jason, saying after the situation that happened to Jason Todd, that was one of the main reasons why Bruce Wayne gave up the role of being Batman in this future Gotham City. Now it's not really like futuristic on that level, like flying cars and stuff. To say like Batman Beyond, it's not really on that level, but it's like it way in the future, like, and it's about aging Bruce Wayne, and he decides to return to the role of Batman because of the rising crime rate in Gotham City. There's also like a heat wave, plus like new threats from like a recently escaped Joker. I'm saying where he didn't really escape, but so I'll touch on that later. And plus even Two-Face himself even like shows up, and then Bruce on top of that having a flashback as usual about the murder of his parents. So all that just pushes Bruce Wayne to the idea of coming back into the role of Batman to help save Gotham. So yeah, Batman has been missing from Gotham City for like 10 years. Even the criminal threats even shut down. Like the Joker even stopped like the crimes that he committed and stuff like that. And Two-Face is already locked into like Arkham Asylum along with the Joker. And the Joker is actually in a comatose state, and he's been like that for over a decade. He doesn't talk or say anything. So he's like very quiet, like in a comatose state. But eventually something happens, like the return of Batman himself, like brings the Joker, like, out of his comatose state, and then he actually speaks. But I'll touch on that like later. But yeah, this story is take place like way in the future. It's like it's like a long way, and like Bruce Wayne himself is supposedly 55 years old. Bruce Wayne, I'm saying he's like 55 years old. So when he was last Batman, I think he was I think 45. It changes, what I'm saying. I think he was 45 when he was last Batman, if I'm not mistaken. Because now he's like supposedly like 55 years old at this point in the this storyline. So yeah, like, and then on top of that, Commissioner Gordon is finna retire on his 70th birthday, and he's supposed to like introduce a new commissioner, which nobody don't know who it would be yet. But at the same time, Commissioner Gordon is supposed to retire on his 70th birthday, but then all that this crime rate is escalating and stuff like that, and even all that is what kind of drives Bruce Wayne to become Batman. But eventually, Commissioner Gordon still does retire on his 70th birthday, and he introduces a new commissioner, which is a woman known as Ellen Yindel, and she takes over the role of being like commissioner of the commissioner. So she like is the commissioner of Gotham City basically or whatever. But there's like a new gang threat terrorizing Gotham City too. In this future, they're known as the Mutants, and they have a leader known as the Mutant Leader. And Batman has like a couple of brutal battles. Like, he has two like brutal battles with the Mutant Leader, which were cool. You know, they also have like a film adaptation of it, and it's awesome. You know, it's cool in the film, which is very good because it's split into like two films. I already had done like a review for those, like Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, Part 1 and Part 2. Like the film adaptations, they are very entertaining. Now throughout this tale, The Dark Knight Returns, Batman, like when Bruce Wayne does return to the role of Batman, he goes back to taking out like simple like thugs, you know, petty thugs, thieves, you know, criminals. But then like Two-Face supposedly shows up. Harvey Dent, he is free from prison, and he actually has plastic surgery done on his face, so he no longer has like a split, like scarred face. You know what I'm saying? He has like a perfect face now. But even Bruce knew that Harvey Dent would go back to his old ways, and that kind of makes sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he, after all them crimes he did, now you know if he's released from prison, because he's released from Arkham, you know he would go back and do that again. Go right back to doing what he did. And sure enough, when Harvey Dent is let out of Arkham, he goes and like threatens to blow up the Gotham Twin Towers, which is supposedly like the highest buildings in Gotham City. And he is demanding $5 million for each, so he's demanding $10 million. So sure enough, Batman shows up and stops him, you know what I'm saying? And then the rest is history. Then the Joker wakes out his comatose state because of the recent appearance of Batman returning back to Gotham City. And he somehow convinces his doctor to like, let him go on to like a guest show, you know what I'm saying, and like, you know, talk or whatever. And sure enough, when the Joker does that, he kills the whole audience with his smiling gas. You know what I'm saying? The gas that he uses like to kill people, and sometimes it leaves them with like a smile, you know, and they're like laughing. He kills like the entire audience, so you can see clearly that even he resorted to his old ways of like doing like, you know, criminal deeds or whatever, you know. So Batman eventually has to take him out, you know, too, at the same time. Now a new Robin is introduced in this tale too, known as her name is Carrie Kelly, and she's a girl. So this new Robin is a female Robin. It's a girl Robin, and she first helps Batman when he's having like a battle, like his first battle, which is brutal with the mutant leader. That's when she first shows up and drives him back to the Batcave in the Batmobile. You know what I'm saying? And Alfred, she meets Alfred. You know what I'm saying? She meets Bruce Wayne. So he agrees to let her be Robin and help him fight crime. You know, it's kind of odd and cheesy, you know, but she's okay, you know, character or whatever. But she actually helps him fight the Joker too when they team up to chase the Joker down at the county, I think it's county fair. Yeah, like that's when Batman has his final battle with the Joker at the county fair. She's along for the ride when that happens too. Because they learn where she, you know what I'm saying, where she's at through Selena Kyle, who's no longer Catwoman. She's been gained weight, like overweight and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And that's how they found out that the Joker was at the county fair. He killed the entire TV audience at the talk show. That's how they learned that he was at the county fair. So Batman and Carrie Kelly and the new Robin, they go to the county fair, you know, and they have like a powerful, like, you know, confrontation at the county fair. So the Joker fights Batman one last time. Now I ain't want to spoil it for people who probably never like read like the tale or whatever. But it's like it's a powerful battle, you know what I'm saying? And plus the Joker takes out a whole bunch of victims throughout. Now it's more explosive on the film, like on the film itself. It's more graphic and it's more frontal, but it holds up also in the graphic novel to itself. Now once Ellen Yindel becomes like the new commissioner, she issues a warrant for the return of Batman, like for his arrest, for like Batman's arrest, you know what I'm saying? Because like in the future of Gotham City, in the world period, like heroes have been kind of like banned, you know? Even like Superman, he's become like a force for like the United States. Like he's doing like President Ronald Reagan's like, you know, bidding, you know what I'm saying? Like Ronald Reagan wants him like to fight wars and stuff like that. He'll go and do it or whatever, you know? Cause like this like fictional island in the story known as Corto Maltese, and Superman has like a battle there, and he has to like overthrow this missile, like a nuclear warhead, the Soviet, and it blows up, and he gets like crippled too in the process. Cause yeah, like Superman plays like a big role in this tale too. Like Superman, he's also in The Dark Knight Returns, and he has like a major part, you know, cause him and Bruce, like, you know, Clark Kent and Superman, they both know each other's secret identities. So they have like, you know, little meetings between Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent, you know what I'm saying? But eventually, there's something happens between them two, and I'll touch on that later. Now in the end, it after all like the being that the heroes were banned, so they shouldn't be no vigilante heroes. Cause even like Oliver Queen and the Green Arrow, he shows up in the tale, and he had escaped from prison, and he also has one arm now, but he still can shoot arrows, so he's also in it. Something like happens, and then Batman and Superman must have like a confrontation between each other. So Batman has to be like this armor suit so he can withstand, like Superman being so powerful, And then they do have like a brutal battle towards the end of the story, the end of the Dark Knight Returns like storyline, and it takes place in Crime Alley where Bruce Wayne's parents were murdered. That's where That's where Bruce chose to have the battle with Superman, which is pretty cool. But it's very explosive. Like in the actual like film adaptation, it is like very explosive, But I thought this was pretty good. I mean, it's pretty good, and I like how they have like Bruce Wayne, I like the idea of him being like, what I'm saying, it's kind of cool that he's retired from the role of Batman and he decided to return, You know what I'm saying? That is kind of cool, and it's like kind of like future based. It's not like high tech or anything. Like Gotham City doesn't look high tech or anything. It's just it's kind of a cool idea. And plus the idea of him battling like Superman, that's fun too, and it looks good too. Like the coloring for it looks very nice. I thought they did a good job on the illustrations in this. You know what I'm saying? Like the color and stuff. It was cool. They had like some good, It could be kind of like rough at times and kind of, like I'm saying, kind of like, this kind of a little rough, but it still was kind of cool, I thought they did a good job on like the artwork or whatever for it or whatever. And I thought the story was, pretty good. I still prefer the film adaptation though. Now there are some like major stuff that makes appearances in there too, like the grapple gun we see for the first time, but it's like a rifle, and that's my favorite Batman gadget. Is like the grapple gun, where you shoot the rope, and he can swing or like he can pull himself up. It actually kind of debuted in this, but it was a rifle, like kind of made like a rifle, but the actual grapple gun debuted in the Tim Burton film, the '89, the Batman from 1989. The actual full grapple gun debuted in that. But other characters appear in the story, like like Alfred's in here, and he's like in his 80s, I believe. Like Alfred, Pennyworth the butler, he's also in here, and he's in his 80s. Selena Kyle appears, but she's not Catwoman, because there's a moment where she's dressed as like Wonder Woman, and the Joker kind of thing did that too, if I'm not mistaken. I thought that was kind of funny. You know what I'm saying? Oliver Queen, the Green Arrow, he shows up in here, Lana Lang, from Superman, I think she was like Clark Kent's like first, I think, girlfriend or whatever. Before Lois Lane, she shows up in this. I was saying, and plus the news anchors, like Lola. You know what I'm saying? I thought they were kind of cool, like when she's always telling what's going on in the world in the news. That the Lola, her name is Lola. Yeah, newscaster. I believe that's what they were, newscasters. It has like nice little touches in it too, I thought this was pretty good. I would recommend it, Now this version I have of it is from I think this is from 2002, and it has like in the back is like it has like the original covers collected, because it was like a 4-book tale. Kind of Batman Year One was like that too. It was a 4-issue tale told over the course of 4 issues, and plus they have like the original plot, The Dark Knight Falls. So it was like some of the collected things that are in this book for Batman. This graphic novel, Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. But I thought the writing in this book was pretty good by like Frank Miller and stuff. It was cool seeing all like these different at times it's like a lot to read, and I thought that was kind of like fun and cool, especially when you really like digging into it, what I'm saying? And it's very interesting at times. You want to like read, and it's like a lot to read, Plus you have like the cool like comic images too, of the comic book and stuff, as you can see. So yeah, this is my review for Batman: The Dark Knight Returns graphic novel, and I thought this is pretty good, And there's also a film adaptation for this, which was told over 2 films, because the book was so long, and it is a long book. it takes kind of a while, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty big, you know. Actually, I think this is over 100 pages, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is over 100 pages. But I would recommend this. This is good. And this is written by Frank Miller. You know what I'm saying? So it's called Batman, The Dark Knight Returns. And I would recommend it, especially if you're a Batman fan, you know, might as well give it a shot, you know. Okay, this is a good book. I recommend it. And this is Jbat. Alright.
In the end, Batman The Dark Knight Returns is a great read, especially if you're a Batman fan. And by the way, Batman is my favorite superhero. So I would highly recommend reading Batman The Dark Knight Returns. It's a great graphic novel, and it was written by Frank Miller, who also wrote Batman Year One. So I would highly recommend reading this graphic novel, Batman The Dark Knight Returns. This is Jbat. Alright.